Welcome back to Riding Bikes in San Diego. We are on 30th Street during the Pride Ride, and I've shown 30th Street a lot on this channel, but I thought that I would just show it again with a lot of people. This person's parked for the laundromat illegally, even though there are parking spaces right next to it. You're going to see a bunch of hazards that are always here, but now there are dozens of people riding in the lane. Um, we have another driver coming up right now who passes a perfectly good parking spot in front of that blue spot and pulls into this other area, which is not a parking spot.
Not a
Um,
parking space.
that's a strange thing.
Not a
There are also
parking
some
space.
parking spaces right next to him over here. We're going to keep going, heading north. We can barely go a block on this ride without some sort of interruption that dozens of people on bikes have to go around. Here we're crossing North Park Way, and there is a motorcycle rider who has recently been taking to using the bike lane as their own personal spot right here. So I'm sure when they came out, there was a whole bunch of spit all over that bike. But, you know, I mean, there were enough of us here that we could have just moved it onto the sidewalk, but we decided to just go around it and put ourselves in the main travel lane. So it's I think that riding in North Park and seeing these things is, we see them all the time, but when you have so many people on bikes trying to use the lane at once, we see just how interruptive these things can be. Of course, no ride on 30th is complete without the obligatory having to go around the bus and the kids pointing it out, and then we go back into the bike lane here. But remember, the bike lane here on 30th narrows because of this little parklet that Cafe Calabria gets. Although that's not exclusively theirs, that actually belongs to the city. So even when the cafe is closed, people can be enjoying that space. It's technically parkland in the city, but my belief is that it should go away. So we're going to move on to the next block past Lincoln and Polk, and well, wouldn't you know it, right after we cross Polk over here, somebody else just couldn't help themselves. The weird thing is, they're parked right after parking. They could have pulled in there
That
and
bike lane.
parked, but they said that they were sorry out the window, so we're just going to take their word for it. Um, they are sorry when you're sitting around in your car and can't find the right place to put it.
Right. But they
I
should.
suppose that makes you a sorry driver.
Should.
Um, it's really just the conditions that exist. But this was the Pride Ride. There were dozens of us on it.
I think you dropped it. It's still
There
in
might
there.
have been 100 people there actually,
Yeah.
but it was beautiful. I don't want to complain exclusively, so let me show you. This is back on the Cabrillo Bridge. After the ride, we ended up on the West Mesa of Balboa Park, and they shut this down to cars during the Pride Festival. So my child and I are enjoying this beautiful road with no drivers on it. This is how this should be. There's no reason why people should be driving through the park. There are other ways around. There are other ways to plan. People do not need to be driving through Balboa Park. This is parkland, and it should be enjoyed as such. Look at how peaceful this is. Okay, all these pedestrians don't have to worry about impatient drivers racing down this road, and we get all this space to enjoy and ride, and it's fresh air. Although we are above the 163 below, which is also formerly parkland. It's actually parkland, but it is a freeway that goes from the 8 and places north down to downtown. But if you ask me, we should close that just south of the 8. But we'll do that in another video. This is just gorgeous, though. You really get to enjoy Balboa Park when you're not looking over your shoulder, worrying about drivers coming on you. And while we're here, I just want to take a moment to celebrate group rides. Even though there are some challenges on some of the main roads, I think group rides really help show us how substantial challenges really can be. One person on a bike, yeah, maybe you could just go around the car. And, we just demonstrated that lots of people can go around. But that disruption is dangerous. It creates hazards, and it shouldn't be like that. So I want to celebrate the group ride. I really want to thank the bicycling community who was involved in this and who organized this. This ride was put together by the San Diego County Bike Coalition, and they're a good group of people, and they do fun things like this. And it's such a safe ride, and they say it's all ages, and I believe that. My kid is still 6 years old and was able to ride their own bike the whole way, and I'm really just the experience of being able to do that. He was so proud of himself for being able to ride something like 11.6 miles, and it was fantastic. So, wonderful experience. If you happen to find a group ride near you, I definitely suggest getting in on it. And from here, we are going to enjoy the park, drive less, and ride a bike. Thanks so much.